Now we're doing a Dr. Dave What's in the Case version. Dr. Dave, take it away.
Okay, what's in Dr. Dave's case? I have a soft predator case, and I'll open it up. This is my playing cue. It's a Predator P3. And I have a 12.4 Revo shaft with a white vault plate on it. And these are all unilock joints. This is a 12.4. Because I'm tall, I'm 6 foot 3 inches, I like to use a joint extender. This is a balance right. I didn't choose this for any performance reason, I just like the length. It does add a little bit of weight, but I actually grew to like the extra weight. So that's my playing cue. All right, my break cue is a Predator BK Rush. It also has a carbon shaft, carbon fiber shaft. And it has a rubber sport grip on it. All right, my jump cue is a Predator Air Rush. It also has a carbon fiber shaft. And it's a 3-piece jump cue. 3 pieces. I use this when doing the dart stroke. This is the shorter length. And I use the end piece when doing a normal stroke.
Are there any difference in the shaft for different cues?
Yes, the break cue and the playing cue, both are low deflection shafts. All right, which is good because if you're using a longer bridge length, the low deflection shaft is more appropriate for a longer bridge length. Mm-hmm. If your stroke goes offline slightly, the low deflection shaft can actually auto-correct, and the cue ball will still go straight.
I see.
Yes. The jump cue, the shaft is it's a larger diameter, and it's a little stiffer. So you want this to be stiff, and it has a phenolic tip. Both the break cue and the jump cue have phenolic tips, much harder. You want a harder tip to get a more efficient hit that way. And it's especially important with the jump cue because you need that cue ball to get out of the way quickly so it doesn't get jammed by the tip. Yes. So a jump cue is lighter, it's stiffer, and has a very hard tip. That all helps the jumping action.
Got it.
Yes.
What's the last one?
This is just a spare. This is just a spare shaft in case like my tip gets damaged while I'm playing. It's good to have a spare shaft as a backup. This is the original Revo. This is also 12.4 with a black vault plate. This is the Revo I played with for a while since it came out. Before that, I used the Z2 shaft, which is actually very similar in cue ball deflection. That's why I like the Revo because I didn't have to change anything when I switched from the Z2 to the Predator Revo.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Dave.
Oh, we got to show you more. There's more in here.
Oh, sorry about that.
So I carry just a little bridge attachment in case the place I'm playing at doesn't have a good mechanical bridge. This just slides on any cue pretty firmly. I can slide all the way up, but you get the point.
Yeah.
And I used to use a power brake when I used to brake pretty firmly, especially when I was younger, and I used to just use earplugs whenever I broke because it can damage the hearing over time.
Yeah.
These loud brake sounds, especially with these phenolic tips.
Especially you're playing a lot.
Yes, yes.
Do you still use them though?
I don't use them anymore. But if I'm playing with people that really crush the brake, I might use them. If I'm playing with somebody a lot and I'm up close, that's why I keep them here. And the Predator cues also come with a butt extension. I do use this but very rarely. This just goes on the end of the Predator cues. They have another unilock connector here.
I see.
And this just makes the cue even longer. And it gives a nice firm connection, solid connection. So this cue is really long now. Look how it takes up a big part of the
pool table.
Oh, yeah, about 3/4 or so. And I'm tall. You can see when I stand up, it goes to my eyes now, whereas a normal cue, this is a cue with no extensions on it. Look at this. This is a cue with a joint extension and a butt extension. Much longer. Can let me reach a lot more shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way you don't actually need the bridge
Exactly.
that often.
Exactly. And I can really reach a shot with a really long bridge length all the way across the table. Don't need a bridge. Sometimes you need a bridge if you have to elevate over a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, let's see what's next. I also keep, I'm skinny. I have a high metabolism. I get hungry often, so I keep some protein bars. I like these RX protein bars. Very, very satisfying and gives me good energy if I get hungry. You don't want to get hungry when you're playing pool. That affects your performance.
Nope. I see a lot of people bring the magic rack with them. Do you have one?
No, I don't carry a racking template. The league I play in doesn't allow them, and yeah, so.
Because like it's not like everybody uses it, so it's gonna be unfair advantage.
Yes, they just don't allow it. It's against the rules.
I see.
I have a little tip shaper. I rarely use this though. It just has two different radius for shaping a tip and for tapping a tip for roughing the surface. But I almost never use this because I chalk. If you chalk before every shot, chalk is abrasive. The chalk helps keep the tip fresh, the surface fresh. And the only reason I would ever use this is if my tip gets too compressed, if it loses shape, or if you miscue a lot. If you miscue a lot, the tip gets kind of burnished or gets kind of glazed, and then this is important to break that up.
Yeah.
But anytime I miscue, I just make sure I hit it really hard with the chalk, and I never have to shape the tip. I also prefer hard tips because hard tips keep their shape better and they last longer. And as long as you chalk before every shot, they never have to be really maintained. Yes.
Got it.
Some people use these things too much and they wear down the tip. They wear down the tip and they have to replace the tip pretty frequently.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
like doing
against the purpose of the tool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I also I play in a bar league that has coins, so you have to put in quarters. You have to put quarters into the table.
It's like very old-fashioned. I used to have one
Yes.
when I was a kid.
Yes. And I carry some chalks around just in case the pool hall doesn't have them. I don't actually care that much what chalk I use. I prefer Town chalk. You want to throw that to me?
Yes.
This is the chalk I currently use at home that I prefer, Town chalk, because it doesn't stick to the cue ball very much, and it doesn't make a mess. But it doesn't stick to the tip as well. But if you chalk before every shot, the type of chalk you use really doesn't matter. All the chalks have very similar performance as long as you chalk before every shot. But I carry some cheap chalks because usually if I take this out at the pool hall, I usually leave it there by accident, so I don't want it to be expensive chalk. And I just keep this is a little cloth Predator sends with their shafts for cleaning the shafts. Just a little cloth for wiping the shaft down.
Oh, I see. They also have alcohol wipes for the shaft?
Yes. I keep an alcohol wipe, but I almost never use those. They're really not necessary. One good thing about these carbon fiber shafts is they stay very clean.
Right.
The dirt just does not stick to them. And I just wipe them down with a damp paper towel periodically when I'm at the pool hall. And if it feels like it's getting a little dirty, I'll use this wipe, but I almost never use this.
Do you have to clean that wipe after you brush down the shaft?
Well, I don't think you have to clean it very often, but I would wash this periodically if I were to use it, but I don't use it very much.
Yeah.
Yes, but this you could wash. So I do keep an alcohol wipe if I were playing in a humid environment and the shaft was getting very dirty, I would use the alcohol wipe, but I've never used this. So I keep one here, it's just to be safe.
Colorado is dry.
Yeah, Colorado's very dry. I don't need a playing glove. I use an open bridge. And Colorado's dry. I don't need a playing glove, and the shafts stay very clean. Yes.
When I played in Xiamen, where I live, it's very close to tropic area.
Yes.
And if you don't have a glove, and if the pool club doesn't have strong AC,
Yes.
then you're screwed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does help to have an open bridge too.
Yes.
Do you use a closed bridge?
No, I use open
Okay,
bridge.
yes, but
well,
you're right.
sometimes I use closed bridge, but most of the time I use
Yes.
open bridge.
My family lives in New Orleans, Louisiana. When I go down there and play pool, one of my nephews is a good pool player. I like to use a glove in New Orleans because it's very, very hot and humid, and sometimes the places don't have good air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. That's everything that's in Dr. Dave's case.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Dave.
Yes.